Welcome to Unapologetically Rich, the show for high-achieving women who refuse to settle. I've helped over 51 women become millionaires and multimillionaires. You're next. I'm here to unlock the next level of wealth, freedom, fulfillment, and feminine power. So hit the follow button, share this with every woman who needs to hear it, and get ready, because every week we're diving deep and rising higher. This is the Unapologetically Rich Show. Are you ready? Let's get to it. Welcome to the Baddie Masterclass. My name is Shamina, and I am so happy to have you guys here. I'm so excited that you guys have chosen your time to come spend with me so that you can learn about the most amazing, life-changing information that you will experience right now. Be present. This is going to change your life. Take notes. Allow yourself to be in the frequency. You're going to have a massive shift in these next 3 days. You're going to experience something that you probably have never experienced. And I want you to understand that there's a consciousness to what I teach. There's an experience to what I teach. There's also going to be an awareness and awakening that happens for you. I believe what I'm going to teach to you in these next 3 days has been the ultimate reason why my life is completely transformed and I've skyrocketed into the success that I've had. I will tell you that everything and anything is so possible for you. Whatever it is that you desire, you're going to have. The craziest thing is most women don't realize the thing that's holding them back is the precise thing that they need to work through, and they can't see it. My desire for you is that these 3 days, you're going to see that, wait, I have some things I need to work on. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It just means it's been a limitation for you. And now you get to see it, do something about it, and experience an amazing life, and a more amazing life than you already are. I'll tell you that being the emotional baddie means you're the one that walks into the room and people go, "Who's that?" Now, it doesn't matter where you are in your journey, this work is going to work for you as long as you're willing to do the work. Coming on a free masterclass is only a 1% of it. Being able to do the work is the 99% of it. So you're going to get information here today. What you do with that information is going to determine what kind of success you have moving forward with your life and your career. Okay, with that said, hi, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to day 1 of the Baddie Masterclass. My team also explained to you how you can win. Go win. I'll tell you why. I want you to test out this frequency that you're going to be in. Small incremental things show you that what's possible. You participate in something that I've given you very small to participate in. What it's going to do is it's going to strengthen your belief muscle. How many of you have heard the term, "It's happening in my world"? It started with me trying to manifest butterflies, with me trying to see certain small things. What if you can put all your energy into winning something small during this time period? What would that do for you? I request that you guys attend all 3 days as well. I know some of you got busy schedules, but this is free. And I'm telling you what, I'm going to teach you right now. I've never really taught before. And if you're not present and live for it, you'll miss out. So make sure you're here live. And for those of you watching the replay, you still will get a transmission, but being on this call is going to be life-changing for you. All right, you left a review. Thank you. Everybody go leave a review. I know if you haven't bought my book yet, do I have the book here? I think I gave them away. Someone show up. Does someone have the book in front of them and they can just go like this for me of my book? And you guys can see what it looks like. All right. Thank you. Emody showed the book. There you go. You've got it right there. All right. Make sure you guys go leave a review, and I'm excited for you. Now, let's get started. Let's get started on this most amazing content that I'm going to share with you today. It is my belief that we can change anything in our reality. Anything. I'm not someone to talk about manifesting because I believe we're manifesting all the time. I'm talking about creating a reality where we are the leaders, the controllers, and the ones that decide the outcome. So for me, that feels much more powerful than just manifesting. Manifesting feels like, well, I'm going to manifest it. But what if you were going to create it? Doesn't that sound much more like you're in the driver's seat when you say create, right? Now, I've been the creator of my reality, but I'm also a badass manifester. However, manifesting to me is a once here and there thing. Creating is I get to take tools and apply them on a daily basis to have a predictable outcome in my life. That's why I like that better. Your life and business are going to be determined upon what you're doing and what you're seeing and how you're thinking and feeling. And that's going to create your outcome. Absolutely. Everything and everywhere. What I want to set the seed for you right now is this. If those of you who don't know me, my name is Shamina Taylor, and I'm a multiple seven-figure business owner. I am a mother of two amazing children, as you saw. I'm also the host of the Unapologetically Rich show. I'm the author of Unlocking the Quantum Woman. I've also helped 51, I'm going to 52 soon. I'm hoping she's going to get there really quickly. Very soon. I have a client that's very soon. There's going to be a 52 woman who's I've helped become a millionaire and multimillionaire. And I've helped 356, I think it's 57 now, because she just said November was our highest cash month, hit their highest cash months. Money's not everything, but money's freedom to me. Money helps us create whatever reality we want. Also, for many people, money is one of the biggest sticking points for them to acquire more, use it, enjoy it, love it, and have it. Being the emotional baddie is you being able to control the environment that you are going to be in to create the reality that you want. Now, here's the thing. I feel like we get to have everything. Do you agree? Drop a yes in the comments if you agree. If you agree that we get to have everything. Most people don't realize that the reality that they want, they're not wired for it the way that they really want to be. They want to have this result. They want to be able to create what their lifestyle, but their reality is not matching up and tuning into what their outcome is. So I want to give you these steps today. Now, what is an emotional baddie? An emotional baddie for me is someone who's unapologetic. She's unfiltered. She is unbothered and she's unstoppable. She's somebody that has impeccable boundaries. She's somebody that is creating her reality like as a force to be reckoned with. Now, she's a woman who knows her worth and has high standards. This emotional baddie is responsive and not reactive. She's an expert in her field. She has conviction about what she does, teaches, and who she is in this world. She has a story that goes along with the success that's gotten her to become an emotional baddie. She's confident in a way that she makes people go, wow, who's that? Who is that? She doesn't worry because she trusts and she allows and she knows everything's going to be okay. And she truly believes and knows it's happening. She's not afraid to be fully seen. In fact, she knows it's her duty to show up and stand out in a crowd, feel the fear, and do it anyway. She's powerful. She's empathetic. And above all, she knows who she is. That's what I want you to understand. That this is a woman that's inside of you. I call her the quantum woman, but the emotional baddie is a sector of the quantum woman. She's a woman who is ready for that next level. She's sitting here going, show me what I need to do, and I'm going to go and do it. Show me who I need to be. Now, I'm going to tell you, how many of you would say that you are on the road to becoming the emotional baddie? Just drop baddie in the comments. Now, this is the difference about an emotional baddie. Someone who says, I'm going to just give you an example. Someone who says, I don't care what they think about me, da 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 da, and they're proving to the world, that is not an emotional baddie. That is somebody who's not emotionally mastered. When they're proving and they're still needing validation, and they're still at a point where they don't know quite who they are. I'm going to give you another realm of this. A woman who cares what people think about them. I will hear 7 times out of 10, I won't say 8 or 9 or 10 and 10, where a woman says, I don't care what people think about me. Yet they really do. An emotional baddie is so emotionally regulated that she doesn't care what people think about her because that is their opinions. It is their view and how they see the world. And Jessica said, I care too much. And I want to say, Jessica, thank you for your vulnerability with that. I used to care too much. It's because I had a dysregulated nervous system, because I didn't quite know who I was yet. And I'm going to teach you about the biology and the neuroscience of that today. You are going to have a very profound understanding and breakthrough of what it is to understand why you operate and do what you do. And perhaps maybe why you haven't reached the emotional baddie status that you want to. And is my gift and my dream for you to take this information and to really apply it and become that woman. Okay. Now, when we were raised, we weren't told that our emotions were important. We were told to stop crying, to be quiet, to find something else to do, and to just hush. Maybe we were even given a binky at a really small age, which I did not give my children because I wanted them to self soothe. I was a different type of mother. I wanted my kids, and I didn't even know I was freaking doing it at a young age. I didn't have them have a binky or a blanket. I wanted their nervous systems to learn what regulation was a very small age. When my children cried, I went to them. When they were hungry, I breastfed them. I wanted them to know that they could ask and that they would receive. And I was such a young mom and I didn't understand this at the time. And I'm not saying if you're giving them a binky, whatever, and all these things are wrong. I'm saying that at a very young age, my children learned what it meant for them to have an emotion and that the emotion would be met, to feel and feel all the way through. For those of you that have read my book, you guys know about the screaming tree, right? Well, I'll tell you about the screaming tree really quickly. And the reason why I'm entering this conversation like this, because I want you to understand that where you are right now is not your fault, but where you're going to go is your responsibility. So you have a decision and choice of how you want to change the trajectory of your life. My children, when we were young, I was getting a divorce and I had no idea my life was falling apart. I was having one of those moments where you're like, oh shit, what's next? And this was before I had all of my emotional mastery that you see before me today. I had a breakdown on a yoga mat. I had this moment where I was really redefining my life. And I realized that the way I'd been living my life was not the way that I was going to continue living my life. So many women that I meet have no idea that they're in a survival state. They have no idea that they're just getting through the days because it's become normal to them. I'm going to give you another example. Women in perimenopause. I was in it for the last 2 or 3 years and I had no idea. I just thought my body was betraying me, or I thought, well, I'm eating so little. Why am I gaining weight? Why do I look like this? Why am I tired? Why am I lethargic? Why am I waking up every night at 3 to 4 a.m.? Why do I have brain fog? Why do my joints hurt? Why? And I'm like, oh my God, I just need to work out more. I'm not eating enough. And yet when I did eat right and I did work out, nothing changed. And I just thought I was doing something wrong. I want you to equate that to what I'm talking about now. A lot of the things that you're experiencing, you just had no idea that that's the way that you've been living just because someone just didn't come along and tell you or mirror back to you, hey, this is what's happening. So I want you to really understand that, okay? And I'm telling you that I meet women every single day that have no idea that they're in a survival state and that they have no idea. And this is not talking 2 years, we're talking decades of living like this, decades of living in an abnormal state. So I was going through a divorce and my children were going through a divorce too, and they didn't choose it. And it was me choosing my happiness instead of staying somewhere. And my ex-husband wasn't a bad guy. It was just I brought all my trauma to my marriage and reason, season, and lifetime. And I'm so grateful for that man for giving me those two beautiful children. And I have the most amazing relationship with my children now. But at the time, my kids were going through it and they didn't know how to process their emotions and they'd be screaming in the car. We'd be driving somewhere and I wanted to scream along with them, to be quite honest with you, because I was crying at night, every night in the shower, going to bed, trying to figure out how I was going to hold my life together. I had no family here and I didn't know how to really function. I didn't know how to process this wave of emotions that I had thought I had numbed inside of me. I'd locked underneath a lock and key, but they came coming to the surface like a volcano. Oh. And I was like so dysregulated. I had no idea how to manage it at all. And this is what came. We were driving down the street one day and the kids were screaming in the back and we were on a 2-lane road near my house. And I said, that's it. We're pulling over right now. Everybody out. You want to scream? We're going to scream outside of this car. And I pulled up to this tree. These kids were like 4 and 5. And I'm like, all right, scream. And I let them scream as loud as they could. And I screamed right along with them. We just screamed and screamed till our throats were like so dry. And we were just crying and screaming until we got to the point where we're like, all right, everybody, back in the car. We got back in the car. Everybody was good. They wiped their tears. We went for ice cream. A couple weeks later, my son looked at me and he goes, Mom, I need the tree. I cry every time I say that. And I pulled him up to the tree. He jumped out. Sierra and I stayed in the car. He went, did his thing, came back in, and he goes, I'm good to go. Wow, the tree's a metaphor for what I allowed my children to feel that I and many of you here never got an opportunity to feel. And that was to feel our emotions all the way through and to know that we were not our emotions, but we were just experiencing them. And they were not something that we became, but something that we felt and that we were allowed to process. And so for my children, they learned one of the greatest things that money can never buy. And you cannot imagine what it feels like for a mom, because in May, my son sent me a picture and I just showed some people I was with. My son just turned 20. And he said, Mom, look. Wait, hold on. I got to show you this because this is how profound what I'm going to teach you. You know, I always say if women are teaching something, but their children aren't learning it, then we got a problem. You know, when I see personal trainers that are out there and they're fit, but their kids aren't, not that I'm judging you, but I would never hire you because you're not an embodiment of what you teach and you don't practice what you teach. Well, let me show you what my son sent me this. He said, Mom, they're taking down the screaming tree. And that was May 22nd. They're taking it down. Look what he wrote. Mom, they're taking down. He called it the screaming tree. He goes, they're taking down the screaming tree. That's how we can change. But guess what? You have an opportunity to heal the child in you and to change everything for you. It's never too late. Because May 22nd, yeah, because I am living proof of it. So while I did end generational trauma with my children, I also created it with myself. I created this beautiful new way of creating emotional mastery for myself, which means you can too. All right. I wanted to share that story with you because I think it's so important that you can understand that when you're in survival, you don't know. And when you don't get an opportunity as a young child to feel your emotions all the way through, they get stuck. And when they get stuck, they create beliefs, they create stories, they create lens, they create meaning, they create resistance, they create blocks, they create stagnation. They stop you in your success and your power. They make you believe something that you never wanted to believe. It makes you feel like you have to hide. Many people put a mask on their face because they think that if anybody really knew the true me, that they wouldn't like me. It makes you play small. It makes you hide. It makes you feel like you are an imposter, that you should be, out there doing the minimum instead of being out there being the greatest version of yourself. An emotional baddie, I would consider both of my children are that. Because they have the power to feel all their emotions and create their reality from it. Neville Goddard said, the feeling is the secret. And I remember hearing that years ago, and I said, well, I need to feel. I need to figure out how I'm going to use my emotions to really change the course of what I'm doing. Now, here's how we break this down. Everybody enjoying this so far? And it's 111. How many participants? Can someone take a screenshot of that? Let's go. Let's go. Hey, Tammy Renee, we saw that together. Nobody leave. I'm just kidding. All right. Now let's start with something most people are never taught. Your results, yes, some of it is created with your mindset. But really what it's created with is your nervous system. Your nervous system determines, and I'm going to tell you this really and you're going to get a lot of information today. So you're going to have to watch this again. But I have so much to teach you that I don't want to hold you back from learning this. And this will be a paid program later on. I don't know, maybe not, but it could be, and it'll probably be like $3,000. So listen in. Your nervous system determines how much money you'll feel safe to receive. I'll tell you why. Because most people have a fear and anxiety about money. Can anybody relate to that? Oh my God, it's a lot. I don't want to spend that much. Ooh. I need to know everything before I make an investment. Uh, what is what if it's lost? It's gonna be lost forever. I'm gonna die if I don't have this money. This is literally what your nervous system is telling you. I had that same belief back in 2020 when I thought the world shut down. I just started my business and I'm like, I got to make this work. My money was running out. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I came into the online space and I'm like, I got no plan B. This is going to work. I'll tell you something, just a small little story about that. Well, when I came into this space, I made an investment into a mentor. And I'd watched one of her free programs and I made $51,000 from it. I went and invested that money back into her in a mini mastermind. It was like a 5-week mastermind. Coming off that mastermind, in June, I had a $301,000 month. Okay, talk about quantum leaping here. The same month, I said, a year from now, I'm going to be a millionaire. Guess what? A year from then, I became a millionaire. But the next month in July, that's when I realized that's the moment that I regulated my nervous system. And I'll tell you what happened. Because I had such a big month, I was like, how am I going to do this again? How am I going to repeat this pattern? And my nervous system went haywire. And I remember sitting on my bed in the edge of my bed and going, okay, because I thought, what if I don't make this money again and again and again? How am I going to be able to have a business that has reoccurring income every month? What am I going to do? How am I going to do this over and over again? I need to save my money. The world is falling apart. What am I going to do? Do I invest in a mentor or do I sit here and just, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And I remember I got to go bigger. I got to go for it all. She's helped me already. And that free masterclass, I went to make an investment with her. It was $3,000 a month. And at the time, that was a lot of money to me. I've since made $25,000 a month investments a month in different mentors. I've invested almost $1 million. I think I'm right at 900 and something thousand dollars since I've started this. That's a lot. But I also pay for speed. If someone knows something more than me, I'm going to pay for it. Now, and I want to know everything. That's why if you've met me before and you see me now, I move fast because money loves speed. And I now have a regulated nervous system. So investing in myself and making moves, my risk tolerance is high. So I can do whatever and know that it's going to work out because it's happening. Well, I was sitting on that bed and I remember going, how am I going to do this? And having this anxiousness. And I tried to go and make money in July. And it didn't turn out the same way. I only made $50,000. I remember talking to my brother and he said, what was the reason why you went there? He's like, you can't chase the money. And this is what most people don't realize. Money is not going to make you safe. Because those of you that have it, you have a false sense of safety in it. It does not regulate your nervous system. What regulates your nervous system is knowing with or without it. Listen to me. With or without it. Some of you are still multitasking. Pay attention here. With or without it. This is important. You have to be regulated. You have to feel safe. With or without it. What does that mean, Shamina, with or without it? If money should go away, what are you going to feel? You have to get into the state of, I'm going to be okay no matter what, without evidence of proof of it. I'm not going to die, because what is happening is your nervous system goes haywire. And I'm going to explain the neuroscience behind it right now. Okay? So your nervous system determines how much money you feel safe to receive, how much love you can let in. Those of you that are wearing that armor and that shield because you're in your masculine, you're not letting the love in or out. The ones that you don't really hug a lot, or you don't like hugs, or you just only like posts because your heart's closed, you don't love posts. You still have a shield on you. You're still in your head. And there's nothing wrong with you. This is not saying you're bad or wrong. I was there too. It's because it doesn't feel safe. So your nervous system is saying, this is how much love. So if you're single and you're still attracting emotionally unavailable men, I'm speaking to you. If you're married and you feel like you're bossing your husband around, I'm speaking to you. How visible you can be, for many of you who are afraid to really show up online, your nervous system's determining this. You want to be fully seen, but you're afraid to post or say the damn thing. Who's afraid of that? Raise the hands. To really show up and show people. Just be honest, because this is where we're breaking through things. You know what I used to do in the beginning? I used to post and run. Just post and run, because I'm like, shit, I'm not going to sit here. Now I'm like, girl, look at you. Look at you. Look what you posted. Look how bad you are, you baddie. Look at you, you baddie. But I was in the beginning, I was nervous. Trust me, I get it. I get it. But being seen is your duty for your legacy and your impact for those of you. How many of those you want to make an impact in the world? Raise your hand. Drop a me in the comments. You're here to leave a massive message. Well, we got to get that nervous system regulated to be fully seen in your power. It is our duty. You know, the number one thing, I have a statistic for it, not in front of me right now. The number one fear for women is being fully seen in their power. Isn't that the craziest thing? Your nervous system determines how you respond to conflict. And I will tell you this, most women who are still not regulated are people pleasers. And they're afraid to show up and say, you know what? I don't like how you spoke to me right now. I am not afraid of conflict, but that probably doesn't surprise you guys, does it? I actually, it's not that I fight or if the food is bad, I'm sending it back in the restaurant. If someone's disrespecting me and it's someone I care about, I'm going to tell them. If I'm in a friendship with somebody and I don't like the way they spoke to me, I'm going to tell them, because you know why most people are afraid of confrontation? Two things. The person's going to get mad or they're going to leave us. So we got an abandonment woman popping up and they're not going to like me. I don't care about those things anymore. I'm going to stand in my power and I'm going to decide whether or not you're allowed into my space. That's what Emotional Baddie does, because not everybody has access to you. You get what I'm saying? Yes. Okay. How creative you allow yourself to be is going to be determined by your nervous system. I'll tell you why. So many of you, I'm going to say it's really loud, are brilliant, are creative, have amazing ideas, are smarter than the people that have the success that right now that are blowing up. But you know what happens when you get a creative idea? Oh my God, I should do this. Oh wait, well, like, I don't know. Should I do this? Should I do this? That person already did it already. I need to think about this. Oh, I really need to think about this. Should I do this? Should I do this? You know what? It's already been done. No, nobody's gonna want this. I need to go think about this some more. Oh, I need to plan. Oh, you know, I'm gonna do it next week. But I don't know everything. I need to know everything. I gotta know everything. Then I'm gonna do it. Boom. Fear of failure. You know, I have a remedy for that. You know what it's called? Messy makes me millions. Borrow it. It's trademark, but you can borrow it and you got to give me credit. Just take the messy action. You know, that's what I got over my perfectionism. Messy makes me millions. Stop overthinking everything. Just go do the damn thing. Your nervous system is hijacking your creativity, hijacking your money, hijacking you being seen. Don't worry, I'm going to explain the science to you. It's all coming up. Are we doing good so far? Okay. I love it. I love when you guys love it. Your nervous system is determining how you show up in your business, what kind of leader you are, how you manifest, who you choose as a partner for anybody, what you tolerate, and what feels normal. If your nervous system is dysregulated, your desires are irrelevant, because your body will always default to safety, not expansion. You want me to repeat that? Your nervous system, if your nervous system is dysregulated, your desires are irrelevant, because your body will always default to safety, not expansion. Now, here's what I want you to understand. the neuroscience of it. And this is why, if any of you ever dated the bad boy or the toxic guy over and over again, that you're going to understand this part and be like, oh, that's why I did it. Because I believe money's masculine and the way we receive it's feminine. So you're going to understand so much stuff right now. Like your mind's going to go, because mine did when I started understanding this. Okay. All right. Does everybody know what the amygdala is? Well, I'll tell you what it is. The amygdala is the emotional alarm center in your brain. Its job is not to make you happy. Its job is to keep you alive based on your past pain. That's it. Now, what your amygdala does is this. And for those of you that don't know about the core wounds, I'm going to tell you about the core wounds. There's betrayal, abandonment, and unworthiness, which I teach about. And I can see in your money, I can see in the way you manifest, I can see in what you're doing, how they affect you. We've got more, but these are the core ones that are really determining. So your amygdala is scanning for danger constantly. Abandonment, betrayal, rejection, scarcity, emotional withdrawal, silence, uncertainty. Your amygdala is using your past to determine your future. It's running on childhood experiences, heartbreak, trauma, and old identity wounds. So this is like why when people are like, I keep trying to write down every single day, I am a millionaire and it's not working. What the heck? Now, can we change the neuroplasticity of our brain? Absolutely. But if your amygdala is not emotionally mastered, it's going to hijack you 100% of the time. Not 99, 100. I had PTSD and I had hypervigilance. Does anybody know what that is? When you get hypervigilance, you start getting anxiety and you start getting stressed. Okay, let's for example, he's cheating on me. I know it. Oh my God, he's cheating on me. I know he's cheating on me. Let's everybody get to the internet and start searching and looking for information. We find things. Aha, he did it. We create this whole reality. We start driving by his house. We come up with this entire story. And then 8 hours later, we find out that he just fell asleep. That's how it looks. And I'll tell you right now, hypervigilance is not something to joke about, but it's when you're in that state of constant, this is why most people have anxiety. They can't get on planes. They can't do public speaking. They can't show up. They have a hard time even expressing what they want. They are on anxiety medication. You know, that's the number one thing when people when they start working with me, they'll come to me like, gosh, I just realized it's been like 2 months. I haven't taken any anxiety medication and I don't need those 2 glasses of wine anymore at night. I'm like, oh, you're entering regulation. Oh, right. It is exhausting when you're constantly like that, right? So this is what happens. If you grew up with emotional chaos, chaos is going to feel safe. Let me repeat that. If you grew up with emotional chaos, chaos will feel safe. Like the little girl in me goes, ah, yeah, because I grew up in chaos. So chaos felt normal. So instead of my children, how they were able to scream for the tree, release their emotions, be held afterwards, loved, and reaffirmed that their emotions were safe, providing a safe environment. I did not pass my trauma onto my children. They don't have a mother wound. I grew up with chaos, with a narcissistic father, with everybody screaming and yelling in my house, being abused physically when I was younger, a lot of things, being left at home, a latchkey kid. I was 7 years old with a key around my neck, watching my 5-year-old, my brother who is 5 years younger than me. I mean, that alone in itself, we didn't know. I mean, Gen X, we were raised in it. It was normalized. We were just normalized for that. Can anybody relate to that? If love was withdrawn, love feels dangerous. Love was weaponized in my house. Meaning the moment that my mom stopped talking to me, like I was upset with me, and she didn't mean to do this. It was just how she was programmed. No blame on mom. What happens is my mom would go into a silent treatment and she wouldn't talk to me for months. And she would do it as an adult because that's what she knew. But love was weaponized. And it was made to be like you needed to earn it. So guess what? I have an unworthiness wound. And unworthiness drove me for most of my life. But guess what? Unworthiness, I used it to create massive success, but it was never enough. Nothing ever felt enough. I got 3 degrees, I became a lawyer. I did all of those things because if you're still in survival, it doesn't matter what you have done. It will not regulate your nervous system to feel validated. You will still keep searching and seeking validation from everything and everyone outside of you. The emotional baddie internalizes it now, and she is her own validation. I'm going to tell you how. Keep with me. Now, if money was scarce, abundance feels unsafe. This is really important. I grew up in a family where money was always an issue. They were always fighting about money in my house, my family, my parents. My mom knew how to make it. Eventually, she became really good at it, but it became something that they were arguing with. Us to this day, I still remember my dad writing a house on a shoebox that we had to sell the house, sell the house, sell the house, and it just became one of the things that my mom's like, I'm never selling my house, and it became like a thing why she never wanted to get divorced because she's like, this guy wanted me to sell my house, I'm not gonna sell my house. She ended up getting divorced 3 years ago at 70 something years old. Great for her. I'm happy for her. But I grew up with this scarcity. My parents told me that I could waste, my mom said, don't waste your money. Money's this. So much meaning was tied to it. Where are we going to get the money for this? How are we going to have the money for this? It wasn't in abundance. Plus, when there's victimhood attached to that belief system, guess what happens? Yeah, money doesn't grow in trees. When victimhood is attached to anything, scarcity is right behind it. It goes with it hand in hand. So when you desire more, your amygdala says, no, we don't do that. We don't trust that. It hijacks your entire system, just like that. And I'm going to talk about now the sympathetic and the parasympathetic parts of your nervous system. So when the amygdala fires and it's saying danger, 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 your sympathetic nervous system turns on. This is where your fight or flight or freeze mode comes in. And this is where you high-performing women get stuck in overthinking, overworking, hustling, proving, I'm going to show you, controlling, which is micromanaging, planning every detail, feeling anxious, feeling unworthy, feeling overwhelmed, have to know the how, the when, the everything. What's involved? Is there any information? I need to see it all. I need everything. I need everything. I need everything because your nervous system's going blah, 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 blah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But if you stay here too long, your parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for the calm, the intuition, the creativity, the pleasure, the receiving, it stops activating. And this is why most women are in that masculine because of their sympathetic nervous system instead of their feminine, which is like the parasympathetic nervous system. Are you feeling what I'm saying? So when your parasympathetic nervous system is offline, your feminine frequency goes offline. Let me say that again. When your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the calming one, is offline, your feminine frequency goes offline too. Because what do? You go into protective state. You can work, but you'll have a really hard time receiving. Do you get what I'm saying? Is everybody understanding this? I want to pause for a second and I want you to give me some feedback. How is this landing? Is this an aha for you? It better be, because nobody's teaching this. How many of you are like, wow, like this was like the first time I'm ever hearing this said like this? Because it is, because I've read many books and it hasn't been explained like this. So it's neuroscience and it's biology. So many of you are like, gosh, why am I so lazy? You're in freeze. Why am I not doing this thing? I'm stuck in fight or flight. It's your body. Although your mind, your prefrontal cortex is where you're thinking, you're actively acknowledging, here's what I want to do. But when your body is coming in to hijack you, Okay, give an example. If you come from an immigrant family, you were not probably loved, hugged, you were not probably given the affection to get your nervous system to go into a parasympathetic state to calm. It was always about performance. What can you do? 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 What you can do? Show me what you can do. Now, a child who is born into a home where there's lack and scarcity and constant chaos, their parasympathetic nervous didn't get a chance because they went into survival. I was into a survival state. And you do it at a young age. Anybody relate to this? And people who struggle with physical touch, this is why. I'm blowing your minds right now, aren't I? Because nobody's dropped off this call. And don't give me a thumb, Angela. You know what that is? That is very, I'll tell you, that's not, so I'll give you an example, but I'm only calling her out because she doesn't know. The thumb is the least amount of emotion you can show. It's what a man would do. It has no emotion in it. A heart has a bit of emotion, but a thumb is like a passive aggressive state. Yeah. And she didn't mean anything by it because she's just always given the thumb. But when you're not connected to your emotions, you're going to give a thumb. You're going to like a post. It's not going to feel safe to do anything else. And love is the thing that creates for us. It is the most powerful tool. And listen, a lot of us have been through some really big tragedies in our lives. We've gone through some shit when you get to this age. You know, when I see like Alex Hormozy's wife, Halela, and this other chick, Natalie or whatever, talking about there's no such thing as burnout. While they're very fantastic at what they do, they have not lived enough life or become mothers or have gone through shit. And there is a thing called burnout. When you go into and they both have rich husbands. And when you go into, which is not a bad thing, we all want that, and or rich wife, whatever you want. But when you go into and you've had to live a life and been in survival for most of your life, your nervous system doesn't know the difference. It is in survival. And this is why most women can't be emotionally attached easily to another person. So they're anxious attachers. They're not secure attachments. I got more. The reason why a woman can't manifest or create her reality, here's why. They struggle to create their reality because manifestation and creating reality requires emotional safety. You want me to say that again? Manifesting and creating a reality requires emotional safety. So when you see somebody teaching about manifesting and you're like, wow, they're such an amazing manifester. Look at them. I can do what they're doing. I'm trying to follow their tools, do their things, but it's not working out for me. Be very wary about following somebody who teaches about manifestation and they're not talking about emotional mastery. Because you cannot think your way into the result because your nervous system will hijack the result. How many of you just tried to think of manifestation? Unless you have zero irregulation around it, this regulation around what you're manifesting, a parking spot, there's no emotional attachment to it. You can have that result. But when it comes to the things that I told you about earlier, your money, being fully seen, all of those things that I mentioned, there is going to be dysregulation around it. That's why you're like, well, I'm trying to manifest this, but it's not working out. This is why. Because your system has to be in a safe state in order to start. Or you're going to keep manifesting the same thing over and over again that you don't want. So you cannot create from survival. Write that down. You can only create from regulation. When your parasympathetic nervous system is on, that's the calming one. Your intuition turns on. Your creativity flows. Receiving becomes natural. Money feels safe. Visibility feels empowering. You become magnetic. This is why so many women don't receive more. They aren't emotionally safe. They don't feel emotionally safe enough to hold it. So when women start making money, they'll start creating income leaks where money comes in, money goes out. I always know When a woman has a better, when a woman has a good relationship with her father, usually her relationship with money is a little bit better than ours, the ones that didn't have a good relationship with their father. Because at a very young age, she was either taught safety from him. So it helped in the regulation of her nervous system. When you have an absent father or a narcissistic or abusive father or whatever, a non-emotional father, or the ones that provide the protection and safety, this is where your nervous system will always be feeling like that. And but you can fix this. Yeah, immigrant father, not emotional people. I'm giving you guys way too much game for a free class. I need to hold back. So you all right. Emotional mastery equals frequency mastery. Let me explain that. When you regulate your nervous system, you stop reacting. So this means when you get triggered, you don't go off the rails and tell people off, get mad, say things. I was just in an event recently. I don't know if I should tell the story or not. I'll tell in a minute. I'll tell it because I think it's powerful. When you regulate your nervous system, you stop reacting, you stop spiraling, you stop self-sabotaging, you feel in control, you feel powerful, you feel grounded, you feel worthy, and you feel confident. And that becomes the frequency that you live in. And what I want you to understand is this. When you feel confident, you can go do anything. Your conviction is at an all-time high. You are like, I'm going to go do the damn thing, and I'm going to do the damn thing so amazing that, wait, everybody's going to be like, who is this and what are we doing here, right? I want you to understand that where you are right now, it is fixable. It is fixable. When I tell you I was the most dysregulated woman you would ever meet, I would tell people off on the subway if they looked at me wrong. I'd pick fights all the time. That's what I knew. That's what I knew. That's what I knew. Thank you. Whoever said that, Aria? Wasn't I really loving my last Instagram post. I made that on my own. My team didn't make it either. I was like, ooh, girl. I was feeling myself. I told you all when I got my body back the way it is to better, I was going to act up. So you guys just better keep up with me. Let's go. I thank you so much. I'm on there now because I'm ready to be fully seen. And I want you to take that as permission for yourself, that it's time for you to be fully seen too. I want you guys to feel into that. And you know what? My old self would look at that and like would be like, oh, I shouldn't have posted it. Did I look cute? I am looking for validation. I looked at myself and I'm like, damn, girl, look how beautiful you are. You love yourself so much now. I'm so proud of you. Look at you. Look what we've done. Look who you've become. You deserve everything in this lifetime. It's huge for me to say that. I got tears in my eyes because I had an unworthiness wound for a really long time. And I wouldn't own my beauty. I wouldn't own my power. I wouldn't own who I was because of the dysregulation. Thank you. And I just feel so free right now to be who I am. I want every woman to feel this, why I created this masterclass. Whatever I'm experiencing and I've gone through and I've become the embodiment of, then I teach it. I never teach it prior to that. But at this moment, I am an emotional baddie. And I'm your leader for that because I want you all to feel that. I stand before you, sit before you today, and my nervous system is regulated around money. My nervous system is regulated around being fully seen. My nervous system is regulated around success. My nervous system is regulated around my emotions. And here I am, waiting my king to come to me. I will share a personal story in a minute. Someone said, what's an emotional baddie? They must have jumped on late because do you guys understand who she is? You'll just need to watch the beginning. I should have made an audio with that one, Shannon. We could have put it as an overlay. Maybe we need to clip it. Thank you. I receive. I love being a badass because I've raised a badass. You think I'm a badass, you see my daughter. She makes me so proud every day that she knows who she is as a woman. She doesn't settle for less. She raises her standards everywhere. If a boy wants to date her, he has so many requirements of what he has to bring to the table. She doesn't accept less. And she holds that standard so high that the men and boys that come to her, they won't even dare just try to send her a WYD. That's not something she would respond to. You know what that means? What are you doing? We don't respond to that because we have high standards. I'll tell you a story. I will tell you, day two is going to be even more extraordinary than day one. I'm not done with day one yet, but I will tell you, day two, we're going to talk about the subconscious mind and the three core wounds. You're going to understand how they work. It's going to be really important. I'm going to talk about the prefrontal cortex and how your vision and your creating your vision, how that gets affected, where your nervous system gets regulated, what to do, and when it's dysregulated and what to do. In day three, we're going to talk about the feminine and masculine wounds. It's so important because you're going to understand how your nervous system plays into this and why it shuts down and why your feminine isn't flowing and why you're not feeling free to receive, to create, and to be the most powerful version of yourself. I'm going to show you how to do this identity shifting. And I really want you to understand the importance of it because it is going to be a game changer for you. Being able to program our subconscious mind is really important because it is the dictator of everything. But the subconscious is run by our emotions. Did you guys know that? Here's the most beautiful thing. And I'll tell you a couple stories that are like tea. So hang on. And it'll relate to your life. The neuroplasticity that's going on in you right now can be programmed. Many people do it through journaling. If you haven't got my journaling program yet, you should get it. It's amazing. And I think if you signed up for this, you got it at like a big discount. And tomorrow I will tell you the offers that I'm going to be presenting to you to come and work with me. So bring your credit cards tomorrow because you're going to want to be on this call because it's going to be a very limited time to get something really, really, really at a discount. So telling you right now, you're warned. And there's going to be limited spaces for the things that I'm putting out there. I'm doing some things different. And there's almost 500 people that signed up for this. And I am so grateful for those of you that took your time to come here. But don't worry, you're going to be rewarded coming back again tomorrow. The subconscious mind is the secret to creating what you want, but the emotions are what we have to have first to program subconscious. When people look and I say, a year from now, I'm going to be a millionaire, what I did in that moment is I decided to make a declaration. I was in fear when I did it. I just come home, it was my birthday, and I made this declaration. My nervous system was in an anxious state. And when it was an anxious state, I said, oh my gosh, I'm going to do this. I was feeling the fear and I was doing it anyway. And what I did was through my processes, I was really allowing myself to re-regulate through repetition. This is what journaling helps with. All my programs that you've ever taken, I give you tools, how to steps with journaling because I teach you my method and my methodology to doing this. You're not going to be out there on your own trying to fly in the wind. I'm showing you what to do. So all of my programs have this with it, meditations and journaling and tools, actionable steps. I'm going to get to the trigger thing in a minute, but I want to tell you this. So the way that we re-regulate is obviously through awareness, because some of you don't even know you're doing it. And it's through repetition. And so I'm not saying this is a true and tried way of doing it. I meditated an hour for 8 years. I did breath work. I still do breath work every day, almost. But I now have got a regulated state that I don't feel triggers anymore. And it's a beautiful thing because I never thought I would get here. And almost now I feel like, is this what narcissists feel like? They don't feel anything like this. Like they could just go and live like this. I'm like, I'm like, is this what they feel like? I'm like, I could feel like I could do anything. Nothing bothers me. Ha ha ha. I just feel so good. It's so powerful. I want you all to come here with me. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, I'm gonna continue. I get so excited about this. So when you're journaling, you have to get into a state of repetition. So, with kids, I'll give you an example. The reason why parents have routines with them, and the reason why you tell them, this is what we're going to do next, and you keep them aware of what's happening, what it's doing is regulating their system. So when I was getting divorced, I knew I had to keep this house. I don't know why, but I was just like, this is going to keep my babies feeling safe because this is where home was. This is the only home they knew. It's $1 million plus house, but I was like, well, I'm going to keep it. I had to keep this for my kids. I'm so glad that I did because it created a safety for them that they didn't know because we don't have family here. And this was like one place that they could feel safe. And I always told them, we're going to do this next. We're going to do this next. And what that does is it's telling your nervous system, prepare. Here, we're having this thing. And it keeps you calm in the regulation state, not for every day, because you should be excited for surprises. When people tell me they don't like surprises, I'm like, oh, you have a dysregulated nervous system. When people have to know everything, all the how, the why, you're not living in the messy makes me millions. You're living in dysregulation. When people like telling me that vulnerability is scary, oh, you're in the dysregulation. When people are worried about how successful you are and you can't celebrate yourself, oh, you're in the dysregulation. When you're hiding things from other people, oh, you're in the dysregulation. Get what I'm saying? And yes, you absolutely can regulate. For some people, a trigger might not always go away, but they might get a boop. Okay, now I have 30 seconds. Let me rewire it. If you are a mother, what I teach not only changes your life, but changes your children's lives. And you still have time, no matter how old they are. I have a client, Lori, that's been in my programs. She's 63, 4 years old. She has shifted. Her kids have shifted. So it's never too late. Just know that. Okay. So it is dysregulation is it dysregulated when this call feels draining? Hey, Lori's on. Hi, Dr. Lori. She's amazing. Blossom, why this could feel draining is because you are being hit with information that you are trying to process at warp speed. I live in quantum energy. I don't know if you guys knew that. When you read my book and when you listen to my podcast, when you come into my programs, you're coming into the quantum frequency when you do this work. I have to get you into that state though first. It's shifting your consciousness and your awareness to get you into the quantum energy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or if I lost you, just tell me. So all the work that I teach you is to access more consciousness so that you can go out into the world and your perception of reality gets to be what you want. So your time space reality is happening all at the same time. Whatever result that you want, your job is to tune into that frequency to get it. Get what I'm saying? This is quantum physics what I'm teaching you right now. In order for me to get you to tune into that frequency, into that quantum physics, into that quantum frequency, whatever it is that you want, I have to get you into a regulated nervous system state so that your emotions, your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions could then come into the state to tune into the reality that you want. That's it. Most people, and I say this with love, will go on to this 3-day masterclass, will listen to me, think they're solved and cured, and then 2 days later go right back to 48 hours is usually what it is, go right back to who they were. The only way you're going to change is to do the work that I'm going to teach you when I tell you about how to join my program tomorrow and stay in an accountability center container in order for you to shift into that next state. If you continue with the work what will happen is that's how your nervous system is going to get regulated. You need someone who makes you feel safe, and somebody sometimes might trigger you, but being in an environment is to be accountability. Laura's been with me 2 years. That's not to say that the work is not working. That's to say that the work is working. Being able to stay in it because you know what your nervous system's going to do. Remember what I told you in the beginning of this call? What did I tell you in the beginning of this call? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I told you this, that your nervous system is going to scan for danger. The amygdala is going to scan for danger. And your nervous system, if it's ever been dysregulated around money, well, it is. If you have a money issue, dysregulation. How much love you can get in, how visible you can be, how creative you can be, responding to conflict, showing up in business, your success, what you tolerate, who you choose, what feels normal. And the amygdala is the emotional alarm center of your brain. It scans for abandonment, betrayal, rejection, scarcity, emotional withdrawal, silence, and uncertainty. It scans, is this stove hot? Don't touch. This is why you go back to the state. So I was at an event not too long ago. I won't say which one. I met the most loveliest women there. Absolutely amazing women. I think they were just wonderful women. And some of them even signed up for my programs to come work with me in my Quantum Woman, in my Wealthy CEO program. And there was a small group of women. They were highly triggered by me. And when a woman is triggered, what I want you to do is I want you to look inside of yourself and find out, why do I feel triggered? Because it's not me that's causing the trigger. I'm just the flashlight. I'm just the way shower. I'm just the mirror going like this. And when I understood that my triggers were not me, and when I understood that when people triggered me, they were not the ones causing the trigger, I was able to regulate my nervous system in a way that made me one of the most powerful baddies in the room. I'll explain to you. When you get an emotional trigger, your first thing is, that person said something to me, I'm mad at them. They're mean, they're mad, they're blah, 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 this bitch, blah, blah, blah. That's what a dysregulated, an unmastered, not a baddie would respond. And I used to be like that until I started realizing that person that just upset me is actually a gift. They're showing me something about myself that I need to go look inside and see. So you know what I did? I flipped the script. I said, instead of being a victim, because that's what victims do, they blame everybody else for their emotional state. I was a victim. So instead of saying that person did this to me, that person said that person's a bitch, that person's this, that, and the other, instead of assigning meaning to other people, I decided to go, you know what? I am mad and I'm upset, and I'm going to write everything down I feel right now. I did this to my brother. I'd be like, this person did it. And I'm like, I'm going to send them a text. And he's like, did you send them a text yet? I said, no. He's like, okay, good. An hour later, I'd feel so fine. So I started that system. Every time I got upset with somebody, I started writing to my brother, or I started putting it in my notes on my phone, and I started giving myself 24 hours to respond. And you know what it did? It started regulating. I did mirror them. I started regulating my nervous system, that I could feel the anger and upsetness, but then go find out why. When you're in a heightened triggered state, you won't know why. Only until the trigger calms down will you then be able to go, oh, I was mad because they remind me of that one time that my mom told me I was fat. Or the one time my mom told me that I couldn't go to so-and-so's house for sleepover, and da 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 da. Whatever it was, at one time I felt abandoned, and this person said that they were leaving me. Or when that guy doesn't text you back, immediately, this is for you women who've been with toxic guys, your amygdala goes into, oh, this feels good. This is dangerous. He rejected me. You know what? I like this. I like this a lot. I didn't even like that guy to begin with. But now that he didn't respond to me and talk to me and he's avoiding me, now we're on. Now I like him. Let's go. Now I'm going to act a fool and fawn over him and then be dysregulated and understand. And now he's not even that cute. He's not even my type. And what the hell am I doing? I know better. My prefrontal cortex is talking to me. We're talking about this tomorrow. And yet here I am ignoring it because there's something about him. He's sexy. Oh, he's a bad boy. Oh, I love it. The sex is so good. All of this stuff. It is not. It absolutely is not. It absolutely is not. Your amygdala is hijacking you, lying to you, and telling you things, and it's doing it with every single thing in your life. You think you're in love with this person and they're the biggest love of your life. You think all of these things, but you put that shit on paper and you show a friend, it does not make any sense. All you gotta do is tell a friend, phone a friend, she'll tell you. And some of you got friends and you're like, I saw a meme once and you're like, when do I tell her he was ugly from the beginning? I already knew this was happening. She was eating foods like, well, right, because the unattractive ones get this ego boost from a gorgeous girl giving her power to him. And then they think they got game. And every time you get mad at somebody and you trigger them, you're giving them your power. So when these women got triggered, it was just like a couple of them. And I didn't even know about it till someone told me. I said, it's not my problem. It's the lens that they're seeing life through. I wish them well, but I'm not going to alter my state of beingness because somebody's triggered. It's not my job to control the entire environment. I'm going to do me. I know I haven't done anything offensive. And if just being myself triggers people, then that's something that they have to deal with. It's a them problem, not a me problem. But I also took self-accountability and realized that my triggers were my responsibility, nobody else's. And the moment that I did that, that's when abundance flipped for me. I no longer was someone who was in scarcity and lack and a victim. I now was in control of creating my reality. So if somebody wants to blame others, this is why I don't like labels and titles. I am a recovering this, I'm a this, that, and the other, I'm a bipolar, whatever it is. Those are labels. Okay. I don't even like calling myself a woman of color. I am. Because I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm not going to, because I'm a woman, I'm going to be wanting a different. Okay, we know there's a disadvantage out there. Why do you think I'm trying to help so many women become millionaires and empower them? Yes, I know this. And I know when women have money, we change the world. And I know when a woman's her most empowered self, she's going to go out there and doing the greatest things and she's going to be emotionally mastered and go crush it and change the world. Yeah, I know that. But I'm not going to sit here and victimize myself and be like, well, I have all these things about myself. No, I refuse to do that. I refuse to lay with labels. When I mentioned that my father's a narcissist, yes, okay, but that's one of the stories. It's not who I am. I don't even say I'm a divorced woman. That's another label. I'm a solo mom. I don't say single mom, I'm a solo mom. Because whatever you assign meaning to becomes law in your life. So our goal is to re-regulate your nervous system so your amygdala stops hijacking you. That is the goal. And I have tools to do that because I've seen it happen over and over and over again in my programs. I want to go read the comments in a minute. And what I want to leave you with this is that this is not your final destination. Everything and anything is changeable for you. Everything. You know, I met a woman a little bit ago and she was applying for one of my programs. I'm going to tell you one of the stories. And I'm going to tell you the tools because they're in my paid programs. So you're going to be able to get the tools in the paid programs that are proven. So tomorrow I'll be on here and I will teach you what to do. I'm going to tell you a story about this lady. So she makes some money. She's a lawyer. She came on the call and I was, interviewing her to see if she was a fit for my wealthy CEO. And she just kept asking me questions. And I was It came from a referral, so I was being a little bit more lenient. And she's like, I want to do this. I want to do this. I'm like, I knew I could help her. She didn't have the systems in her business. She also needed a huge shift in mindset. She was in survival state, but she was very much, I need to get this done. I need to do this. I need to do this. Very A-type, like controlling everything. I know what I need to do. I just needed someone to tell me how to do it. And she's like, I'm really tired of getting these low income or these low ticket clients coming in, the ones that have no money. I'm tired of doing cases that are around this. I don't want to attract them anymore. She showed me some messaging that a company had created for her, and the entire messaging was all speaking to scarcity and lack mindset people. I was like, well, look at your messaging. And she even said to me herself, I want to work with people who have messed up, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, well, this is why you're not going to be attracting premium clients. This is why you're going to keep attracting those types of clients. And as we progressed on the call, this is very important to listen to this. It's for when you do things and when you're getting your clients. She's like, well, let me just show you my website. Let me just show you the video. I don't need to see these things. We're not on a coaching call. And I'm like, it's okay. We can talk about it later. Well, what else would you change? Tell me what you would do. She was looking for free information on the call. This is not the time and place. And then she showed me something else, her Google. And I said, if I saw your Google, I wouldn't sign up with you personally. Well, tell me one thing I can fix about it. I was like, well, you got to change your messaging. Well, what's the one thing? And that's where I drew the line. I said, well, I'm going to hold a boundary right now because what I teach is very valuable and I have a price for it and people get results from it. And while you could keep trying to get free stuff from me on this call, or you come into my program. And I don't even know if I was going to have her in my program right now, to be honest with you. I'll tell you why in a minute. Because somebody who keeps trying to push the boundaries and gets things for free is somebody who is lacking scarcity. They have not come over into the regulation state. And when I held a boundary, all of a sudden she had a client waiting for her. I'm like, okay, go ahead. I was not afraid of the confrontation that what I had said. Many people are afraid to hold that boundary. Many people are afraid to say, my work is valuable because they're afraid someone's going to leave and they're not going to like them. I have the honey. I am the prize. I don't need to beg you to be in my world. I don't need to beg you to want to take my programs. I don't have to beg a person to do that. She needs what I have. And you know what was crazy is the exact clients that she did not want to work with anymore is exactly who she was on that call. She was operating exactly like the people that she didn't want to attract because you attract and mirror who you're being and who you are. So if you're not attracting premium clients, it's time to master your emotions. It's time to upgrade your nervous system. It's time to get yourself into an elevated state to attract those premium clients that are willing to pay. They're paying for a result. When people are only worried about money and the cost of things, they're not paying for a result. They're looking for how much is that going to cost and what result do I get? They're still exchanging time for money. They're still in lack and scarcity. They're still in a dysregulated state. They're not looking for you to solve a problem for them. For the people I work with, the high level people, their only concern is it's usually never about money. It's never really about money. Will this work for me? Can this work for me? And that's why I'm showing you it can work for you. That's what you're looking for when you're looking for clients. Not people who are coming in trying to nickel and dime you and charge the lowest amount that you can charge so that you can get a client through the door. Because those clients in the end up becoming, as my mentor said it, this is not me saying it, and it is a cuss word, but he said, they become mother effers in your group. That's what he said. And he goes, it only takes one apple to spoil the basket. One person to come in like that, they might be able to, and this woman had money to pay. And just because someone can pay, not all money's money. Not all money's money for me. Because if you are not open and available to see a change in yourself right now, or understand the state where you are and be able to say, show me where I'm at and I'm willing to do the work. It won't matter what you do, you're not going to change. Your nervous system will hijack you every single time. Remember how many times? 100% of the time, your nervous system will hijack you. That's why you've taken so many other programs and maybe they worked a little, or maybe they worked, and they have to have worked somewhat. When she tells me something doesn't work, or someone tells me it doesn't work at all, I'm like, oh, well, nothing's going to work here. But if you've been on this call with me for now an hour or so, which is way over I was going to do, I want you to I want you to sit with your emotions right now. And I want you to get engaged in the Facebook group. If you have not joined the Facebook group, get in there. I want you to tell me what one of your biggest takeaways was from today. Drop it in the chat. Because this is showing me that you came here and you got something that gave you a neurological shift. Now, working with me is when we create the neuroplasticity for it to stick forever. Remember, your amygdala is the danger zone. That's what it is. Great. I'm on a mission to regulate my nervous system. There you go. Excellent. If I'm here now with you, it's a sign I'm ready. Martina, let's go. Be on the call tomorrow because I'm going to be dropping things that you're going to want to be a part of, and it's going to be limited because I haven't never done this with emotional mastery. Never, never, never. I've been studying this daily for a few months. Let's go, Kathy. You did that for me in the first phone call. Let's go, Christina. I get uplifted listening to Shamina. My consciousness expands. I got goosebumps. I can feel your energy through the call. I love, I love. Yeah, it takes time. Accountability is key because what we're doing is repetition is reprogramming. That's how we get into it. And being aware, that's why when people come and work with me, they become regulated. It gets to the root. It's not a band-aid where something pops up. As long as you keep doing the work. Lori isn't her feminine. I literally feel you talking only slowly to me, Angela, because I am love. You know you're going to dream about me tonight, right? My higher self is going to come into your dreams and we're going to have chats. Expect it. Happens to me all the time. Wow. That's right, Aria. I'm mirroring things they need to heal. You know, when I look at a person, you sit right in front of me. I can ask you 3 questions and I can find your core wounds instantly. It's the coolest thing. It's a gift I have. And then now you know what you're aware of. Like on that call, I could have told her what her core wound was, but I don't know if she would be able to hear me because she'll be in a defensive state. I ask myself, how am I guilty of the same thing? This shows me how I looked in someone else's eyes. 99% of the time, I'll remember something I did in the past. It's very helpful. It's great. You guys enjoying this? Is this good? Golden nugget. This is not my final destination. Everything's changeable. Do you understand how regulated I feel right now? Like I feel like I am such a queen and I really feel it. Like I love myself right now. I'm like, I was telling my team, I saw this video of myself from an angle. I'm like, gosh, I look so pretty. I'm like, the makeup lady made me look so pretty. I go, have I always been this pretty and I didn't see how pretty I was before? Like, what the hell was wrong with me? Like, I love who I am now. And I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to own it. I'm not afraid to be her. I'm not afraid anymore. Like, I get to be fully and completely in love with who I am. And I know till the day I die, money will always be there supporting me, loving me, and taking care of me. That's my feminine frequency. And it also because I'm regulated around money. On day 3, we're going to talk about that big time. You deserve people who can pay. Just reading your book, I know that you change lives. I know. My book is a life changer. By the way, if you have not left a review, Shannon told you how to do it. I'm 7 away from being over 300. Please, 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 please go do it. I want to celebrate. And who's going to be the 300th one? Tell me if it's you. You couldn't pay me enough to work with really difficult clients. Hell no. For every misaligned like client that's not aligned, you say no to, 3 aligned ones will come. I'm in India right now. Oh, you're in India? Hi. It's so worth staying awake for this. Can't believe I'm going to bed with such powerful insights. Yay, yay, yay. My amygdala being stuck, sympathetic. I'm seeing myself a whole new way. I'm on a mission to regulate. Even though the toughest mommy moment, I can change my nervous system. Yes, you can. I'm taking the work with my nervous system is vital to make where I want. Yes, I got to break through, understand the reason for my patterns. Hey, Trisha, let's go. Stop overthinking. I'm stuck in survival mode. I didn't realize it. Jennifer, that's such a deeply profound realization. And I just want to witness you, gal. That's so huge to say. Can't be safe and expand. No, you can't. My biggest takeaway, money isn't going to make me feel safe with or without it. Yes, 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 Christine. Listen, that's when I talk about becoming the wealthy woman, I became her without money. I always go back to her because she is the regulation of me knowing that with or without money, I have the state of beingness. I feel something so amazing in my heart right now. I don't know who's having a shift, but I can feel all your hearts opening. There's like an energy on this call right now that's super, super, super powerful. Like I feel it like going inside of me right now, like being empathic and having this connection. It feels like a light. I just feel this lightness has shifted. It feels so good. Um, Comfort and confrontation, amygdala meaning and function, understanding that with or without money, you're okay. Emotional mastery, having enough money and unworthiness are what's in the way. To tune into the quantum frequency, you have to regulate emotions. Yes. How you're a reflection of the client you're attracting. Absolutely. I am valuable and have healthy boundaries. You sure do, Lori. Lori didn't have those boundaries, but she came and worked with me. Need to work on my nervous system. Yes. Re-regulating my subconscious through emotions. That my nervous system definitely needs regulation. Emotional mastery, nervous system regulation, neuroplasticity. The amygdala is yes, yes, yes. Staying out of survival mode. Bestie makes me millions. I had no idea about emotional regulation being the block from being able to create. Jessica, huge, right? Huge. That you can only create or manifest from regulation. When my parasympathetic is offline, so is my feminine. Let's go, Caitlin. I create the life of my dreams. I can see that I'm becoming a baddie. I'm so ready to be a vet. Let's go. Your nervous system controls you if you don't fix it. Yes, it does. I have to feel safe with the money. Okay, there's so many. Oh my God. Team, can you screenshot these? Because stand in your power. If my name is scared. This is so freaking awesome. This is probably one of the best master classes I've ever done, and I did it free. Y'all, this is so good. The screaming tree got me. Y'all find a screaming tree for yourself. Reading a habit pocket full of money, but you brought the light to the importance of, yeah, it doesn't teach you that, Tanya, but it does teach you about wealth consciousness, and it's a great book to read. You are my Shiro. Yay, Shiro. This is not my final destination. Everything is changeable. Thank you. Okay, no problem. So tomorrow, go back, goddess. Go. I want you guys to tag me on Instagram. Hold on, I'm going to give you a chance. Shamina, I just had a client call before I jumped on, and I swear I was just channeling my version of Shamina. Let's go, Catherine. Woo! Um, something funny. Every time I get a matcha drink, I have to think of you. I love it. I love it. It brought up a feeling with my kids. You were beauty, Shamina. I adore you. Oh, I love you too. Thank you so much. Okay. My book was amazing. I love it. Wait, we have so many screenshots here of people. The book is a life changer if you do the work. Yes, yes, yes. Where do I go to write a review? Okay, team, can you help out, Catherine? Um, Thank you, Shamina. I've missed being in your energy. This call was great. I love it. I took 4.5 pages of notes. Let's go. Notes, notes, notes. Solo mom. Yes. Okay. So guess what? I want you to go and do this homework tonight. I want you to do the workbook, but I want you to do this. It's going to be a practical thing. I want you to go and I want you to just do some breath work before you go to bed and when you wake up. I want you to do it like this. You're going to take 4 breaths in. It's super easy and simple. You have time for it. We'll do it right now. Do it with me. 4 breaths in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you feel the difference in your body? Let's do it again. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, release for 4. Melissa, get off your phone. Put it down. Let's do it. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Hold for 4. Release for 4. Do you feel the instant shift in your body? Instant. I want you to do it 8 times. Do it before you go to bed, when you wake up. Your alpha and delta state, alpha and delta state, before you go to bed, is when we start programming your subconscious mind. It happens in the morning too. Do not pick up your phone right away unless you're just checking the time, and you just make sure you're not oversleeping for this class. But I want you to declare things that you want to create your reality. And do it before you go to bed, because that's when the alpha delta state is. That's when your subconscious is the most prime for programming. And tomorrow I'm going to talk to you and teach you about that. That's when we're going to be able to regulate. Because it doesn't matter what your conscious and your prefrontal cortex is saying, your subconscious mind will always override everything you're doing. Everything. Because it's going to protect you. It's going to override everything. But when we can program it to believe, everything changes. So do that homework. Write down the things that you want. I want you to write down everything you want to create and declare. I want you to introduce yourself to the group. I want you to go and post your takeaways, because you're going to have some more processing. And I want you to just remind yourself that everything can change in this moment. Everything that you ever desired could come for you right now. Be open to the magic coming. You're entering a quantum field right now with me. This is quantum energy. You're going to start feeling and shifting, and it's going to happen fast. So allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to receive, allow yourself to know that you're exactly right where you're supposed to be. All right? I love you all. Thank you for your time. I will see you tomorrow. Wait. 1 second. Take a picture of me and tag me on Instagram. Hold on. Take a picture and tag me and say this is the best masterclass you've ever been in. And you can send me a message, a DM on Instagram too, and say hi, or on Facebook, say hi to me, because I love you and I want to get to know every single person that's here today. And tell me how you loved this, if it changed your life. All right, ladies. Go emotional baddies. Let's go. Bye.